boy OpZ here, took it out, banged it around a little bit, man. I gotta replace my brake light. I was putting in some bulbs back there, you know, the reverse lights, ended up knocking my brake lights out. And you know, I thought about it, you know what I'm saying? I know I paid 13 bucks for these brighter lights, but it don't seem like that was expensive, but in comparison, it's pretty expensive, because I think these regular bulbs is only like $2, you know what I'm saying? Only like $2. But you want brighter lights, that's what you gotta do. You gotta pay the cost to be the boss. So now I gotta go up here and get me another brake light. So that's the deal. But today Tuesday. So it's the One Thing Tuesday. That's where we listen to the one thing all day long, which we almost do every day. If you'll notice, these things tend to overlap. It's not that on Wednesdays I don't think about the one thing, but I just choose these days to be more purposeful and studying up on it, listening to it, talking about it. You know, we was talking to my daughter last night. Come on, my man. What's on out here? Talking to my daughter last night. She rushes in the house. You know, she's supposed to be buying her first house, want to flip it. Then she wants to stay in and renovate it and stuff like that. She said, you know what, I think I'm getting a day trade. I said, you getting a day trade for? She said, because I don't want to get a lot of debt in getting these houses. You know, saying one thing, but then meaning another. I kind of dived in and say, nah, that don't make sense. You just, you know, you stretching your resources out. You should be focusing on one thing. That's what you should be doing. Blah, blah, blah. So we went around with that for a while. Me, at the very end, just now realizing that I'm talking to the parasite, the symbiote. That's why the wishy-washy is coming in at the parasite and the symbiote. You know, they going against the grain. I'm back and forth, back and forth. The ego's in there, back and forth to support her cause. And, you know, so she just go more and more, nah, I should be doing this. I don't want this, that, blah, 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 blah. Saying she don't want debt, but then everybody that's in the real estate, debt is good. But then she would say, well, Dave Ramsey say debt is bad. You know, I said, well, you got to pick one person and follow. You know, I mean, that's what you got to do, right? So at the end, I kind of realized, hey, look, you want, and I told her, I said, maybe I made an assumption. I thought maybe I should have asked you about the time frame. You know, because I think a little part of me got in that as well, too, because I know that I've dispersed my resources over the years. And you kind of want to see your kids walk down the same path, but it's kind of inevitable because of the world we live in. You know, that they are going to be distracted. They are going to have so many choices and want to try all these things. You know, so that was the name of the game, right? So yeah, so I realized that now, hindsight, I was supposed to chill, relax. I've been working on that too. Normally when they come in there, I don't say anything. I just kind of let them kind of talk and float it around a little bit amongst themselves. Just kind of sit back and, you know, because I know that it's just kind of spur of the moment type of stuff. So I just kind of laid back a little bit. That's what I was supposed to do, but I didn't last night. And I think because I wasn't at my most resourceful state. Willpower's not always on will call. So my willpower to keep my mouth shut is not on will call, because I was doing about 2 other things too. But anyway, so we got into that. We're trying to go back to the one thing as far as that focus is concerned. Because she was mentioning about this lady. That's what she heard. I've been watching this lady and I'm thinking about, sound like your sales pitch. Yeah, how much it costs? $2,500. Yeah, I knew it. Of course, it's going to sound good. It's going to sound easy. You know, she said if I can only do $20 a week, if I can only do $20 a day, then that would definitely pay for it. I said, yeah, that's a big if. You know, that's just saying, like, that's the same if that said if I was rich. You know what I'm saying? If I won the Powerball, that's the same if. So it's not small, it's the same one. It's always an if in there. But anyway, it's always if. Maybe write somebody probably already wrote a book on if, But that's the deal that she was on. I said, but here's the deal. I'm not saying that ain't gonna work. I'm not saying but I'm saying go ahead and get ahead of this thing before you spend the money by pulling out your 66-day challenge. You remember your 66-day challenge? I said, well, the same discipline to check them off is going to apply to this. So you need to look back and say, hey, what was the roadblock that stopped me from completing this 66-day challenge? I say, because we did several of them, right? She said, yeah. I say, so what was the roadblock? And of course, the Cindy will be like, man, look, we ain't got time for that. Let's just go ahead and spend this money. Let's get this new, shiny new object here so we can go ahead and get busy. It's going to make us so happy once we get this shiny new object. And I'm just saying count the cost, right? So as we get more money, then we spend more money. If it makes any sense. Our wastefulness goes up. Exponentially. Oh yeah, I can afford that. Just $2,500. Just $3,000. Just $5,000. You know what I'm saying? So, but the guy from yesterday, so I can recap the one thing. The guy from yesterday, recapping the one thing, was talking about the 4-day work week. When I heard that, I was like, oh yeah, the 4-hour work week, that's my boy Tim Ferriss. But it wasn't. It was just he's not just a guy. I mean, he's successful. He said he started when he was in high school, and his instructor asked him, say, hey, look, you want to make your class schedule? He said, yeah. He said, well, I want to be off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. He said, okay. It's done. And you can do all your other stuff the other 4 days. He said that he loved it, being off those extra 3 days. So when he graduated, he was used to that. Now he's moving to the environment where it was a 5-day work week. That was part of his negotiation. Hey, I want to work 5 days. I want to work 4 days. That's what I want to work. And I want a car allowance and a car, and y'all pay for the gas and blah, blah, blah. So he said he went for no and got yeses across the board. He said, of course, other people were saying, guys, man, why can't I work like that? How you get that job? Why don't you do that? And so, but they couldn't take it from him because it was part of his contract. But he was saying that you could make your own work schedule, but you got to be able to come up with a way to pick up the slack. He was saying he was more productive because it was more compressed. I believe that. And he took small breaks in between. Some about walking away. Say when you first walk into a room, your brain is on hyper alert, hypersensitivity, picking up everything. He said we should be like that on a task. Once you approach the task, it should be like that. Then you take a break from the task and come back to the task again. It should be fresher. He said a 1-minute break. But my boy in the one thing said it's gonna be a switch cost in there. Unless you discipline, that 1-minute break may turn into 20 minutes. Then he said you had to look at what type of he said, yeah, definitely do your time block. He said that there's certain ways, some people like to go on a sabbatical for 3 days straight, don't do nothing but that one thing. Some people like to have that one thing reoccurring on certain days. That's me. I like mine reoccurring. Same thing every week. On that day, I do that thing. Then they say some people like to try to knock it out in one day. Complete that task. So you just got to figure out which type of person you are. Well, you say mainly, a lot of times people don't be compelled to protect something like something at home because they don't have a compelling future for their home life. So they just keep working. They think that working is going to bring it all out, bring all the happiness. So he says it's like times with your wife or your kids. If y'all don't really have a compelling future to go spend time with your wife, then when that client comes up and say, hey, look, man, I need you to work on Saturday. I mean, I'm only available Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You already said to yourself, you only work Monday through Thursday. You don't work Friday, Saturday, Sunday. He said, what do you do? He said, man, I tell a client I can't work with them. I have to find somebody else that works Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to help them out. He said, you can't take every deal. That's what he said. You can't take every deal. See, every deal you can't take. Some deals you're going to have to pass on because you're protecting that time. But if you ain't protecting that time for no reason, I'm trying to hold my nose right there. Don't worry, I got my sanitizing wipes right here. We'll sanitize when we start shaking hands on the suckers. But anyway, back to the, let's add this puppy out too. Yeah, I like to add this thing out a little bit. I don't want to sneeze in my shirt, but I thought I could hold it. But anyway, so he was talking about that, as far as what you got going on at home, and made me start thinking about, me and my wife's future, right? What we gonna do? We really ain't had a compelling future. We just been raising kids. That's what we've been doing. Then we got something to look forward to as a vacation. Okay, we start looking at the vacation. But beyond that, we really haven't had to set up a compelling future. But we're gonna do it this year, right? It's time to do it. It's time to do it. So we'll set this compelling future up. But yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell, is having that compelling future, setting those expectations, going for the no, and then working through it. I mean, you can set any schedule that you want to set. If you set your mind to it, you first got a plan. Yeah, you get that book to one thing too. I mean, that would help. That would help. Oh, help. So that's what I gotta do today. I'm gonna be in that one thing because I gotta get into my time block. I still didn't get all the way into my time block yesterday. I mean, I was time blocking. I was working it. Man, is this deep right here? Let's just see what they got going on. Let's see what they got going on. Man, shoot, he was just sitting there waiting. He's letting the boy out top. All right, I'm out. I'm finna go do it to my life. You do it to your life. Do it to that like, do it to that subscribe, do it to that thumbs up. Let's do it to it.